Beautiful day here in Wisconsin. Obviously not the kind of day where I can metal detect. So instead, one of my good buddies has joined me and we're gonna do some ice fishing. So if you want to see what people up north do when they can't metal detect, learn a little bit about ice fishing, stay tuned. All right, this is my sled here with my portable tent, my auger, something called a tip up. I'll show you a little bit about that in a minute. And I'm blessed here to actually live right on a lake here in Wisconsin. We're gonna go get set up and try our luck with some ice fishing. So this is my portable fish house that you can see here. Matt and I are putting this together. In Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, these come in all different types of shapes and sizes. Some of them are made out of wood. They're meant to stay on the lake for multiple nights, weeks even. Some of them come with some incredible design and creativity, and you're going to see some pictures here. I'm actually going to share two very good books here. One called The Fish House book by Kathy Nordstrom. The other is called A Hard Water World by Lane Kennedy and Greg Brining. And I'm just going to put a few photos from those books here, but this will give you a flavor for the depth, breadth, the creative types of fish houses, shanties, ice shacks as they're called here in Wisconsin that you'll find. Very creative, very fun, very comfortable too. All right, this is my ice auger. There's a couple different types of augers. This happens to be a propane auger. A lot of them are oil gas mixtures. Some people use a device that allows you to incorporate a power drill. And traditionally, folks would use hand augers to drill their holes in the ice. So I'm going to get this fired up, show you the process here, give you an idea what it looks like here. I drilled 6 holes here, and the reason is there's 2 people fishing today, myself and my buddy. That's Matt right there. And in the state of Wisconsin, you're allowed to have 3 lines in the water per fisherman, and those can be outside of your fishing tent. We're using these things here called tip ups. I'll show you that in a minute. Or you can fish a hole inside your shanty, your cabin, your tent, your ice shack. The reason I drilled 6 holes here is
the bottom of this lake gets deeper as you get to the center. So we're going to try to fish the different depths here, ideally being about 2 feet off the bottom. I'll show you the process here and how it works. All right, so I have a weight here attached to the treble hook that I'm using, okay? And what I want to first thing I want to do is find the bottom here of this lake. So I'm going to drop this. I'm going to wait until my spool essentially stops or slows down. Okay, so right here I can tell, you know, the line just gets a little heavier right here, so I can tell that's slack right there. So knowing my ice is about 6 inches thick, all right, I'm going to account for those 6 inches right here, okay? And now I want to go down 2 feet, 1 feet, let's say 2 feet, and I'm going to put a marker on the line. I'm going to use this little bobber here to mark the point where I'm going to want to stop my line. Now, my goal here is to fish about 2 feet off of the bottom. In the wintertime, this time of the day, you know, that's often where the fish are. And now what I'm doing is reeling that line back in. All right, and I'm going to take the weight. There's my bobber. That's my little marker. Okay, I'm going to pull the line up now. You can do this by hand as well as reeling it in. I'm going to take that weight off and bait my hook. Okay, so the purpose of this weight was just to help get down to the bottom, help me find the bottom. I'll put some bait on here and show you the next step. All right, so I have my bait on the line. This is it's called a chub. And notice I have a split shot here, about a foot up from that. And the split shot weight is going to take him down to the bottom. Do I want him to be all the way on the bottom? No. Again, I want him to be a couple feet off of the bottom. And that's where that red and white bobber comes into play. I'll show you how that works in just a moment. Not my favorite type of tip up. This is a little longer than the other ones here, and definitely a hair trigger here. Definitely a hair trigger. We'll see if we have any luck with this one. All right, this is probably a more traditional tip up. They're I think they're beautiful, and these are actually pretty collectible. They're made out of wood. Should have a cover that goes over top of the hole that prevents the hole from freezing up. It's actually not that cold out today, even though there's a lot of snow. We're probably somewhere in the mid-30s Fahrenheit. But same basic principle, right? You have your spool hanging down low, and the fish, of course, if it takes the bait, will trigger the rod to tip up. And some of these, of course, come with lights that activate when they're vertical versus horizontal for fishing late in the evening, late in the afternoon, night, that type of thing. Okay, but the same basic premise. I'll get this set up and show you what it looks like here when I'm done. Well, we are now inside our clamshell tent. These are sometimes called ice shanties, fishing shacks. If you're not at all familiar with ice fishing, it's incredible some of the things that people build, you know, how the structures, how creative they are, how comfortable they are. Some of them have TVs in them. This is, of course, something we purchased. It's very portable. This is my buddy Matt. And
hey, fish people.
We are jigging. So we have a couple of those tip-ups set up outside that I maybe showed earlier. And right now we've got, I have some live bait on mine. Matt, what are you using?
I'm just using a little colored jig.
Okay.
An old green and chartreuse.
And we've got our Showdown fish finder here. So what this is doing is giving Matt an idea of where his jig is in relation to the bottom. So we're about in 16 feet of water here. That is his jig moving up and down at the bottom here. But we take a peek outside, see if there's any action on our tip-ups. It's quite warm here. We have a little heater inside here with some other creature comforts as well. But Hey, I would love to also be outside doing some metal detecting, but this is fun too. This is fun too. There we go. What do you have there?
That's a humongous jumbo perch.
Gosh, they're big here, folks.
Jumbo perch.
On Fowler Lake. Oh my goodness gracious. First one of the day, though.
Yes, indeed. More to follow.
Here we go.